All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one today. I'm going to be talking about the NBA Cup Quarterfinals. 4 games, a lot of things happened in those 4 games. I'm going to recap those games here in today's video. Talk about the NBA Cup in general, what's been going on, and the NBA Cup here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really appreciate it a lot. Links to my Twitters, all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. All right, so we're going to start with the games from Tuesday. Start Orlando, Milwaukee. Also, by the way, my voice sounds a little weird or kind of, gets a little raspier, goes out a little bit. I've had a long day. I'm recording this late. So, yeah, my throat is a little bit, I've been talking a lot today. So, I apologize for that. But let's get into Orlando, Milwaukee. The Bucks end up winning this game 114-109. But very, very good game considering all the circumstances. Orlando, no Paolo and Franz, unfortunately, in this game. Orlando, though, still put up a great fight. They put up 33 points in the first quarter, came out great in the first quarter in this one. The Bucks came back, make it a second quarter, make it a good game. Get to the third quarter. It was a very defensive quarter. Magic only scored 13 points in the third quarter on 23% shooting. Milwaukee hit 20 points in the quarter, shot 47%. Giannis gave you 12 points. Get down to the final few minutes, and that's when Dame takes over. Dame puts up 15 points in the fourth quarter. AJ Green hit 2 big 3-pointers in this quarter. The Bucks made some good defensive plays. Jalen Suggs tried everything he could. Jalen Suggs gave you 18 points in the fourth quarter. Yeah, it wasn't enough, and the Bucks ended up getting a W. Giannis gives you 37 and 7 with 4 blocks on 15 for 24 shooting. Dame with 28 and 9. Those two have been phenomenal recently. That's what's getting the Bucks back into this thing and got them going. Bobby Portis, 22 and 10, only missed 2 shots, 9 for 11 from the field. He's been very, very good recently as well. And yeah, it's really Dame and Giannis obviously have been so good. But then the others are really stepping up. Chris Middleton in 19 minutes didn't score, but he had 8 assists. So Chris Middleton, even though the shot wasn't falling, he was getting his teammates involved, being a playmaker, using his gravity of his scoring to facilitate for others. AJ Green knocked down some big threes in this one. Brook Lopez made some good defensive plays, and the Bucks ended up getting a win. And for the Magic, it really was just tough. You could definitely tell where the lack of Paolo and Franz came. It came in the final 5 minutes, where the Magic, that's usually the last maybe 2 or 3 minutes, where that's usually where teams give the star player the star player the ball and say, take us home. So the Milwaukee did it with Dame, take us home. Orlando didn't have that. It was Jalen Suggs, who had a great game, 32 and 9, 4 steals, 12 for 26, had 18 points in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, he missed that pull-up three-pointer at that point. But, man, did he have a great game, And, for the Magic, it's just been Paolo gets hurt, Franz steps up. Franz gets hurt. Jalen Suggs now is the guy, I guess, on the team. But then, yeah, you had Goga Badatse, 12 and 14, 5 offensive rebounds. He has been phenomenal since stepping in for the Atlanta Magic as a starting center. He's been just absolutely phenomenal. Rebounds the ball very well, especially on the offensive end. Good hands, really good defensively. He's finding his role in the NBA, and teams are definitely going to be looking at Goga. And then the bench, Anthony Black plays 32 minutes, gives you 17, 6 and 3 with 3 steals and a block. Mo Wagner gave you 13. He had a really good first half. Jett Howard even gave you 2 threes, hit 10 points. So you got to give all the credit in the world to Orlando Magic for fighting hard in this game and competing. That's what the Magic do, man. They come out, they fight hard, they compete, they do all that stuff. You just can't ask for much more from Orlando. It's just at the end of the day, Milwaukee was just the better team in the last couple minutes, and now Milwaukee heads to Vegas, doing some really good things, really turning the season around. If they can win the NBA Cup, that'll be just a huge turnaround and a huge confidence booster for this team. But yeah, Milwaukee moves on to Vegas. They were just the better team at the end of the day, I felt like. Next, we go to Mavericks, Thunder. Thunder ended up winning this game 118-104. They're moving on to Vegas. We actually watched this game live on the channel, did a live watch along. The VOD's up on the channel, so you can go back and look that. Also, by the way, since we're here on Tuesday, we're going to be watching the NBA Cup Championship game live here on the channel. So if you're around on Tuesday, about 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, come here. Let's watch the game together, have some fun, vibe. That's what we did here. If you want to go back and watch the Mavericks Thunder watch on, you can go back and watch that. But yeah, the Thunder didn't win this game. Just a really good game from all around. I feel like the third quarter really was the deciding point in this game. Outscored Dallas 33-19. Just had so many things go right. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had an MVP type performance. 39, 8 and 5, 3 steals, shot 15 for 23, 5 for 9 from 3. He was absolutely phenomenal in this game, especially that second half. I feel like he was just getting anywhere he wanted to. The 3-pointer, he was pulling it. Only took 4 free throw attempts. He's getting to the rim, getting to the mid-range area, just really controlling this entire game. Shea was. He was doing his thing. Jada, even though he had a pretty bad first 3 quarters, came out in the fourth quarter and gave you 10 points, hit 5 shots. So that's what he does. Gives you 18, 7, and 4. Lou Dort and Casey Wallace both hit 3 threes. Casey Wallace was big in this game too. Casey Wallace had 4 offensive rebounds. Casey Wallace is like 6'1". Came out and gave you 4 offensive boards. Isaiah Hartenstein gives you 10 and 13 with 5 offensive boards. That was the big factor in this game. I feel like was second chance points and points off turnovers for OKC. OKC gets 17 offensive rebounds in this game compared to Dallas' 7, and they also forced 19 Dallas turnovers. That really was the big kind of factors in this game. Just the extra plays, the points off turnovers, and the offensive rebounds. That just killed them. And off the bench, Kenny Williams gave you 3 threes. Isaiah Joe gave you 3 threes. Alex Caruso gave you 2 threes. His hands were all over that game. You shoot 40% from 3 as a team, even though you only take 7 free throws. Thunder only took 7 free throws in this game. And they still ended up getting a dominant performance like this. They're just a really tough team. They're a good team, number 1 in the West. We already know that. And honestly, they're probably the favorite right now to win the NBA Cup because who's going to beat them? Who's really going to beat them? For Dallas, really tough night for Luka and Kyrie. Luka at one point had more turnovers than points. It was rough. Fishes with 16, 11, and 5, 6 turnovers, shots 5 for 15. Not bad game from Luka. Kyrie also wasn't really a big factor in this one either. Finishes with just 17 points. And if Kyrie and Luka aren't getting their things done, then no one else is. But Thunder played great defense. I think I saw they said like 6 or 7 different players regarding Luka at different points. There was one point where Luka, every time he crossed, as soon as his foot came across the half court line, 2 people were right there at him. So they're literally forcing everybody else to get involved. Najee Marshall had a great game, 19 points, 7 for 11 for the field. He was really the only guy out there competing a whole lot. Like Najee Marshall was out there hooping, getting buckets. Clay also had a solid game, 19 points. He had 5 threes. Derek Lively gave you 13 boards and 5 assists. But then, Quentin Grimes only shoots 1 for 5. The bench tried, but it just really is. If Luka and Kyrie aren't doing anything, this team is not going to win games. That's just straight up it. And Luka and Kyrie both had pretty subpar games. So shout out to the OKC defense. They just forced so many turnovers, hands everywhere. They're such an amazing team. And now they're moving on to Vegas. And they're probably going to win the NBA Cup. Honestly, they probably are. Because how do you really defend this team like that? Especially in this NBA Cup where they're actually going out and trying to win, Now we go to yesterday's games. First one we had Hawks, Knicks. The Hawks ended up getting this win 108-100. Really good game from the Hawks. The Knicks came out, had a really solid first quarter, especially on the defensive end, forcing Atlanta to shoot only 32% from the field. Yeah, it was only a 6-point game. And even, I think Doris Borg mentioned on the broadcast, it was like, I feel like the Knicks, they played great defense, they hit their shots, all that stuff. Yeah, it's only a 6-point game, and then the Knicks kind of tried to blow the doors open a little bit in the second quarter. Couldn't really get there to go. Cat had a really good first half. Josh Hart hit a couple of shots. Miguel Bridges hit a couple of shots. Trae Young was having a really rough first half. Had 2 assists and 3 turnovers. But then we get to the third quarter and the game flips on its head. Atlanta puts up 34 points in the third quarter, forces only 18 points, forces New York to shoot 30% from the field, 2 for 12 from 3. They don't attempt a free throw in the quarter. While Atlanta, Trae Young starts to get it going. 12, 4, and 5 in the quarter with no turnovers. Shoots 3 for 5, hits 2 3-pointers, and his energy just affected everybody else. Jalen Johnson, 9 points in the quarter. DeAndre Hunter, 3 for 3, hits 7 points in the quarter. Just everything started to click and get going. They get offensive rebounds, finding the open man, hitting shots, just everything felt like turned on his head. Then we get to the fourth quarter, and that's when they kind of put the game away. New York shoots 3 for 10 from 3 in the fourth quarter, and Atlanta, 11 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter. Not the game, the fourth quarter. Atlanta had 11 offensive rebounds. Clint Capella had 4 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter by himself. And that really turned the game. It just felt like every time the Knicks tried to get a stop and we're going to go on transition, get a run, Atlanta got offensive rebound. Clint Capella was in there. Jalen Johnson, who was in there. Dyson Daniels got one. Everybody on the bench. Even Vic Krejci had an offensive rebound. Hunter, Bogdanovich, Conway with 2. Everybody was in there getting offensive rebounds. That just led to easy shots. Even though they only shot 39% from the field in the quarter, 2 for 9 from 3. If you're out shooting your opponent by 5 more attempts in the quarter, I'm gonna probably get a win. Even though Trae Young doesn't score in the fourth quarter, he gets 4 assists. Jalen Johnson gives you 6 and 4 in the quarter. Eric Conway was big. DeAndre Hunter hit a big 3-pointer. And the defense also locks in. The Knicks offense just was tough. OG scoreless in the fourth quarter. The bench didn't really do much. It was just really, really tough. The defense getting picked apart. The Atlanta Hawks just picking apart this defense. Hawks put up 61 points to shoot 46% from the field in the second half, while New York 46 points. They shoot 38% overall in the game. Trae Young gives you 22, 5, and 11. Jalen Johnson, 21, 15, 7, 2, and 2, just filling up the box score. DeAndre Hunter continues his hot streak, 24 points off the bench on 4 for 5 from 3. Kongwu gives you 12 and 11. Clint Capella gives you 11 and 13. Dyson Daniels has 2 blocks with 9 points and 7 rebounds and 5 offensive rebounds for Dyson Daniels. Just everything. They had 22 offensive rebounds in this game. The Hawks did 22 offensive rebounds, even though they only shot 29% from 3, which actually was better than the Knicks, and they shot 26%. Um, just a great game from the Hawks. Great way. They just show a lot of fight. Showed a lot of fight in the second half against good teams. They just are good. Trae Young was picking this defense apart. The last couple of minutes of the game, the Knicks were trying to go zone or double Trae Young to try to get the ball in his hands, and it was just all right. Then Dyson Daniels, you can make a play. Now Jalen Johnson, you can make a play. It's just the way they built this team around Trae Young, they have so many more playmakers. Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson can make plays for other people. They're not just stationary wings like maybe DeAndre Hunter or those guys where they're just going to catch and shoot. If not, they're going to drive, or not, they're going to pass the ball to someone, pass the ball back to Trae. Like Jalen Johnson can make plays. Jalen Johnson can have a game where he has 9, 10 assists. Dyson Daniels can have a game where he has 7 or 8 assists. Like those guys can play make. So they're forcing the ball at Trae Young's hand. It was like, all right, it's 4-on-4. Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, you get something going. It's either Jalen Johnson dunk, or Dyson Daniel floater, or it's Clint Capella lob. So it's just, or DeAndre Hunter kick out 3-pointer in the corner because the defense collapsed. Like they were just picking this team apart in the second half. They go on. They're kind of one of the more perfect NBA Cup teams, the Hawks. A young team. They're not great, but they're not bad. They're just kind of trying to find their rhythm. Fun, exciting young players. A team that doesn't really, get a lot of media attention. You know, like this is a great NBA Cup team, the Atlanta Hawks. They're a different team when they play against good teams, and I cannot wait to see this matchup against the Bucks, who they just played against, I think, last week, and they won. They snapped the Bucks' winning streak. So this is going to be a very, very fun game. But shout out to the Hawks playing a great game, and for the Knicks, just really tough. Showed a lot of their flaws for the Knicks. Their defense has not been great. The 3-point shooting has not been there. The bench hasn't really provided anything at all, and they're gonna have to get it together. New York did, you know. But for the Hawks, it's just an amazing game, especially wasting a Cat. Cat gave you 19, 19, 5, 3, and 3. But Jalen Brunson, 4, 5, 15. OG Anunoby was 5 for 17, 1 for 9 from 3. Mikal Bridges, 1 for 5 from 3. They shot 26% as a team, so really tough shooting night for the Knicks. But the Hawks, an amazing win. Great win for them. And the final quarterfinal game, we had Warriors-Rockets. Rockets ended up winning 91-90 on a very controversial call late in the game where Jonathan Kuminga and Jalen Green fighting for a loose ball, and they call a foul on Jonathan Kuminga. Was it a foul? I don't really know, but honestly, whatever happens now doesn't matter because we can't go back and change it. The Rockets ended up winning this game. Very interesting game. Not a high-scoring one. Two good defensive teams in this game. The Rockets, Alper Sengun gives you 26, 11, and 5, 3 steals. He had a great start to this game. He had, 14 and 8 in the first half, dominating down low against the Warriors. The Rockets, even though Rockets only shot 1 for 13 from 3 in the first half, it didn't matter because Alper Sengun was dominating the paint. Jalen Green was getting to the rim. The bench, the Terra Twins and Men and Tari were providing some stuff. They were dominating the glass, 6 offensive rebounds for Golden State's 4, 23 rebounds in that half. While Golden State didn't shoot them much better, 18% from 3, 4 for 22 from 3. It was Steph and Kuminga, and then no one else really came along for the ride. Get to the third quarter, Warriors strike, put up 32 in the quarter. Buddy Hield hits 3 3-pointers. Kuminga has 6 points. Curry has 6. Landy Waters hits a 3. And now it's like, all right, making a game. It was a good game. We get down to the fourth. Steph only hits 1 shot in the fourth quarter. It was Brandon Pajemski and Lindy Waters led the team in the fourth quarter with 5 points each, which is not a great sign. For Houston, Sengun gives you 6 in the quarter. Tari Eason gives you 5 in the quarter. Almost everybody besides Aaron Holiday scores in that fourth quarter for Houston, and they get the free throws and they end up winning the game. But Golden State really just shows the flaws, kind of like the Knicks with the Warriors, where they don't have a second star, and for this team, which they really need, especially when Curry is having, Curry had just 9 points in the second half, 3 points in the fourth quarter, and the clutch offense. A lot of the games they have lost this season for the Warriors, it's been in the fourth quarter, where they either blow a lead or just cannot keep up with a team in the fourth quarter, and they blow the game. And that came down to it today, where the fourth quarter was really, they just couldn't really find any consistent offense. Credit the Rockets are an amazing defense in itself, but the Warriors just haven't been able to find that fourth quarter offense and win a lot of close games. So they're gonna have to find that. For the Rockets, I know they're a great NBA Cup team. The Rockets are young, they're fun, they're great this year. And getting an NBA Cup will be nice. Şengün gives you 26, 11, and 5. Jabari Smith gives you 15. Jalen Green gives you 12. Amen gives you 10, 6, and 3 with 2 blocks off the bench. Tari gives you 9 and 7. Even though, I mean, they shoot 22%. They shot 22% from 3. 6 for 27 from 3. Only took 10 free throws. Well, the Warriors only took 9, I guess. I still ended up winning this game. We'll lose the rebounding battle. You know, do force 22 turnovers, though, which is big. But yeah, the Rockets just play great basketball. Play team basketball. Everybody's out there competing on the defensive end, offensive end, playing the flow of things. They're growing in front of our eyes, man. They're growing in front of our eyes. And you love to see it. You really, really love to see it. I cannot wait to see them in Vegas against OKC. That's gonna be a heck of a matchup right there for them in OKC. Yeah, cannot wait. Cannot wait to watch it. But shout out to Houston, man. That's just a great win for them. Especially also they beat the Warriors for the first time in 35 years. It feels like they beat the Warriors finally. All right, yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Quick predictions for the quarterfinal. Quick predictions for my 2 games. East, I'm gonna go with Atlanta, man. I really do think Atlanta is the perfect NBA Cup team. They're gonna be similar to the Pacers of last year. I think the Hawks can make it and beat the Bucks again in Vegas. I'll go Hawks in the East, and out West, give me the Thunder. I'll go Thunder Hawks in the NBA Cup Final. Maybe not the craziest matchup in terms of excitement, but I think it could be a good game. I'll go Hawks Thunder. But honestly, I just want to see some good basketball at the end of the day. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn on notifications, do all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.